kitchen with EPL.
Hey everybody, it's Christine from the Easton Library and welcome to this episode of In the Kitchen with EPL, where we will highlight some fun and delicious snacks and maybe even a lunch that teens can make at home that's going to be a little better than like your bowl of goldfish, right? So today we're going to do grilled cheese, and we have 3 varieties of sort of ways to like jazz up your grilled cheese so it's not just like American cheese and white bread. This you're gonna love. So the first one we're gonna do is cheddar cheese, caramelized onions, and spinach. So the first thing you have to do is caramelize your onions. So I used a yellow onion like this, but you could also use shallot, which gives it a little bit of a different flavor, but really nice. It's kind of a combination of an onion and garlic. So you're gonna wanna slice those up very thin, and then get your skillet nice and warm, not super hot because you don't wanna burn them. You're gonna put some oil in there and you're gonna saute these very slow on a nice low heat. And one way to sort of pump up the caramelization is you're gonna sprinkle like a teaspoon of sugar in your onions and mix it all up, and that helps the browning and the caramelization. And this recipe also suggested putting in a little bit of balsamic vinegar. So I did that, and this is what you end up with. These really beautiful caramely color, sauteed, translucent, super sweet onions. So that you prepare ahead of time. Then you just get your bread. For this I chose some sort of not super crusty, but a nice Italian loaf. So we're gonna put on we're gonna start with your cheddar cheese. So you put a little bit of that, however much you like. I chose here like a extra sharp white cheddar cheese because I like that one. Then you're going to take some of these beautiful caramelized onions. Just put those right on there. Gorgeous. And then add some spinach. If you don't like spinach, you could use arugula, you could use kale, anything that you kind of like. I like spinach because it's sweet and it's easy to find. And then you're gonna put your top on, right? And then you could use the same pan that you used to caramelize your onions. You're gonna heat it up with a little oil. And since this is kind of a thick bread, I was kind of going for a panini sort of thing, but I don't have a panini maker, haha. So here's a trick. Cast iron is a great material for a skillet to make grilled cheese because it distributes the heat very nicely. So if you were to put this in there like that, you start on you don't want to get it too hot because you don't want to burn your bread. So you're starting to grill the bottom part, but you kind of want to squish it down so it all seals together like a panini. So you get another cast iron pan and you put this one right on top like that. You put the bottom part on top, so make sure it's clean, right on top of the sandwich. And if you want to like be able to walk away and leave this for a minute, you could take like a couple of cans, like canned tomatoes or something, and put them in there and they squish it down. And you get that sort of panini effect of a nice squish sandwich. And then you would take it off and flip your sandwich and then do the same to the other side. And then you're going to get nice and brown on the outside. And I'm going to show you the finished one that I made just a little while ago. So do you see how it's kind of flat? And it's all nice and brown on the top, and you see all the melty cheese coming out, and you can see the spinach and the onions. It's beautiful, I gotta say. I think, people would be very impressed if you made this for them. So I think I'm going to try it because it looks fantastic. It smells good too. Wow. That is such a wonderful combination of flavors. I get the super sweet onions with the sharp cheddar cheese. Oh my God. make this at home. You won't be disappointed. Okay, let's do our second one. So, our second one is going to be brie and fig. So, brie goes great with any kind of fruit. And fig is nice because you can buy it in a jam, or I bought this at the store. This is a fig paste. And these kind of things are often served with cheese, like on a cheese platter. If you don't like fig, I would suggest apple slices would be great. Or quince paste. I don't know if you've ever seen that. It's often paired with cheese in like tapas restaurants and stuff, and that would be great too. So for this grilled cheese sandwich, I decided to use some challah bread, which is an egg-based bread, and it's nice and thick. When you're making grilled cheese, you don't want to have your bread be too soft because then it won't hold up to the cooking and you'll just end up with mush. So I chose this challah bread here, which is this beautiful yellow bread. And a great tip that I learned from looking up these recipes is instead of putting butter on the outside of your grilled cheese, when you put it into the pan to heat it up, you use mayonnaise. And it worked so well. It gave it this beautiful golden brown color, and it just looks fantastic. So you would take your piece of bread and you would put some mayonnaise, like just a thin layer, and this will be the outside of your sandwich, right? And then you would sort of turn that over, and then you're gonna put your filling on this side, which doesn't have the mayonnaise. So for the filling for here, we have some nice brie cheese. I'm gonna put like 2 slices on there. Now, brie can be tricky to slice because it's very soft cheese. So another good tip that I'm gonna let you in on is use dental floss to slice your brie. Because a knife, it'll get stuck, a cheese cutter doesn't really work. But if you take dental floss, like you take the 2 sides and you just kind of pull it through, it slices it beautifully. So, little tip there. And then you're gonna take, I'm just gonna slice a couple pieces of this fig paste. And you can see it's kind of like, I don't know, like a pate consistency, or like Jell-O maybe. And so you're gonna put that on there. Just the nice combination of the sweet with that cheese, which is a little bit strong. Like that. Okay? Then you're gonna put on the top of your sandwich, and then you're gonna put mayonnaise on this side too. So this one you don't need to smush down. This one will grill up beautifully, just as is. So you're gonna put it in your hot skillet, mayonnaise side down. Keep an eye on it because it could easily burn. Don't have your temperature up too high. And let me show you that beautifulness that I made here earlier. Okay, look at that. It has that like grilled cheese, French toast, like beautiful golden speckles on there, and it just grilled up perfectly. And then inside you have this beautiful brie and the fig paste, and I think I must taste that one too. Oh wow. That is lovely. It's very fresh tasting, and the figs give it a very almost like Mediterranean kind of feel. But the fruit and the cheese together with the rich bread, and it's just delicious. So, another great one. And now I have one more for you. So I know you guys have probably all had like the classic caprese salad, which is mozzarella, tomato, and basil. So we're gonna do a caprese grilled cheese. Very easy and just as delicious. So for this I chose this rosemary bread. It's kind of a thick, hearty bread again, so that it will keep its firmness and not end up with mush. I would use the mayonnaise trick again, for sure. So spread a little thin layer of mayonnaise on the outside and then flip it over. And then on the inside, you're gonna put, I have this nice fresh basil, and since it's summer, you know, basil is like super easy to grow if you want to put some in a pot outside your house. That would be very easy to do. So nice basil, however much you want. If you like more, you can put more. And then I bought these beautiful heirloom tomatoes yesterday. I have a red one and a yellow one, and we're going to use some of these yellow tomato slices because they're fun. And then mozzarella cheese, because that is the third ingredient in a caprese salad. Now like fresh mozzarella is so delicious in a caprese salad, but for this, I don't think I would necessarily do fresh because it tends to be very wet and it might make your bread soggy. So I would do more of like just the kind that comes in this plastic brick at the store. I think that would work out better. So then you're gonna put on the top, you're gonna put your mayonnaise on this side again, and same thing, in your nice heated up pan with some oil in there. Don't do too hot because it'll burn quickly. So you want it low enough where it'll melt everything and brown the bread, but not burn. That's key. So let me show you what that one looks like. Look at that. It looks so gorgeous. Perfectly brown, all nice and melty. You can see the basil and the cheese, and I used the red tomato for this one. And the rosemary in the bread, I bet will also lend a nice flavor to that. So I'm going to try that one now. Amazing. So by grilling it up with the tomato in there, the tomato gets very soft and sweet, like it pumps up the sweetness. And the basil, it's just fantastic. All together, combination of the flavors is amazing. So I hope that you guys at home will consider trying to make one of these. They're amazing, a great quick lunch, if during the summer maybe, or during spring break, or on the weekend, or a great snack. So I hope you enjoyed this episode of In the Kitchen with EPL, and I hope you try these great grilled cheese creations, and we will see you next time. Thanks for joining us.